Hello YouTube and welcome back. I am Benjamin Williams and today we're going to be doing another video within the home lab. Today's work is going to be on the actual switch itself, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be protecting our switch ports, our unused switch ports on our switch, from being able to have users just come up and plug into the switch and then being able to get network access. We're going to do that by administratively shutting down the unused ports on this switch. So, for example, if somebody was to bring in their own Ethernet cable and a device, if they were to just plug in to any of these unused ports and then, for example, plug in their network device on the other side. So we're just going to be using this camera right here for demonstrational purposes. All right, so this camera is now online, and we can confirm that by looking at this green light that's lit up on port 31 on my switch. So to prevent users from just being able to come in and plug up and being able to get connection to my network, I'm going to administratively shut down these ports. Right now, all of these ports have BPDU guard and also port fast enabled. So of course, port fast prevents STP from going through the listening and learning state. It brings edge ports up immediately as soon as they're plugged into the network. All of these are edge ports, so I have configured that on each of these ports. And also I configured BPDU guard to prevent a switching loop from occurring, or if somebody was to plug in a switch to any of these edge ports, that port would be put into the air disable state and basically be administratively shut down until I go into the switch and re-bring that port back up. So it will prevent switching loops from occurring. But like I said, today's lab is just going to be on administratively shutting down unused ports. So let's go ahead and first mark down the ports that are in use on our switch. So let's identify that now. So if we take a look at our switch, we can see that we have a connection to the port number 1, port number 3, and port number 5. Of course, the port number 5 is not actually operating right now. That's actually the connection to my TV, but it's not running right now. I have my TV off. So we need to take note of 1, 3, and 5. And then if we go over here to my gigabit connection, my SFP modules, we can see that we have number 1 running, number 3 running, and if we take a look at the bottom one, number 2 is not actually plugged in, and number 4 is actually plugged in. So we have 1, 3, and 4 in operation for our gigabit connections, but all of the fast Ethernet is just 1, 3, and 5. So let's mark that down. All right, so we have our console connection connected into our switch. All right, so we have our switch up and we're connected to it. All right, so we have the ports that we noted down for used ports, and then we also have what we should have inside of our output. So we want to show the port fast enabled feature, the BPDU guard enabled, and then shut down the unused ports. So first things first, let's show the port fast feature. So let's do a show run. And we can also see we should be able to see the BPDU guard information within the running config as well. Yep. So we can see that each of our fast Ethernet ports has port fast enabled. And of course, that is to bring these edge ports straight into the forwarding state. And then we have BPDU guard enabled. And that is a good feature to have in conjunction with port fast to prevent a switch being able to be plugged up into the network and then causing a layer 2 loop, because it is brung straight into the forwarding state because port fast is enabled. All right, so BPDU guard would disable that interface, put it into the air disable state, and then send a notification to a network administrator. So that's that on that. So if we can see all of our fast Ethernet ports have the port fast and BPDU guard. Okay, that's for the most part. We can see that the fast Ethernet the fast Ethernet 37 through 48 do not have port fast or BPDU guard enabled. And we can see that the gigabit Ethernets only have port fast enabled, but not BPDU guard. All right. So just confirm that. All right. Now let's do a show IP interface brief. IP interface brief. I just want to show you guys the connections. We can confirm the used ports that are connected. We seen that the Fast Ethernet 01 was up and connected, and we can confirm that by the status and protocol. Same thing with the Fast Ethernet 03. That's status is up and protocol is up as well. The Fast Ethernet 05, it was connected, but the device is just not turned on. We seen that in my switch. Let's go down to the gigabit ports because we know that those are in use as well. So let's go down to the output of those. We can see that the 01 is up. We can see the 03 is up. And we can see the 04 is up. And if we remember, the 02 had no connection into it. All right. You can rerun in the video to confirm that. But the next thing that we want to do is disable these unused ports. So that was the main goal of this video. So let's do that now. Let's do a configure terminal. All right. And let's go interface range. We want to do for fast Ethernet 2/0/2. Let's do a comma to include the Fast Ethernet 04 interface as well. Let's do Fast Ethernet 2/0/4. And then we want to do the whole combination. So 04 through 48. Because we can see that there are 48 Fast Ethernet ports. All right. So this encompasses the 02, 04, and then 4 through 48. All right. Let's do a comma there. And we also want to get that gigabit Ethernet port 2/0/2. That is this port right here that is in the down state. And we had no connection to that port. So let's hit enter there. And let's do a shut down to all of these ports. Let's do a shutdown. All right. All right. And you can see all of these have changed. They're changing down to the down state. That's what we want to see. We want all of those to be administratively shut down. So nobody can just come into my room or my network and be able to get network connectivity. So now if I do an end, and I do a show IP interface brief, we can see that now instead of those being just down in the status column, they're administratively down. So now let's go back to our switch and try to plug in that camera again to any of those unused ports and see what happens. All right, so let's take our Ethernet cable that we had from before. Let's plug it into the switch. All right, let's take the other end and plug it into this camera that we were using from before. So this is the same network camera, and as you can see, this device is not coming online anymore, and that is because that port is administratively shut down. So to bring that port up, we would have to go into the switch and do the no shutdown command to bring that port up. So this protects against anyone just walking up and being able to plug into our network and get network connectivity. So I appreciate you guys for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.